You're listening to Beyond the Measure, episode 16. Listen as I, a young choir director, and my husband, a young composer, interview other music educators in order to gain insight into their own success in the classroom. We have a lot to learn, and we want you to learn with us. No matter your age, ensemble, or experience, this is the ideal podcast for music educators, composers, and students alike. So join us as we go beyond the measure. Hey everyone, this is Kara and Christian here.
Hey,
welcome back to Beyond the Measure.
Hey.
Today's going to be a brief episode once again, maybe even briefer than the last one.
Tell them why.
Well, this coming week, starting Wednesday, the 17th, it's the first day of school.
First day of school.
I've done all the professional development days, all of that, but Wednesday is when students come back and we're back in the grind. And I know that's the case for my school district, my former school district, and a neighboring school district. We're all starting on Wednesday. So I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. We're either people have already started or we're about to. So we just kind of want to give some words of encouragement, but also keep it brief since we're all very busy.
Yes, and kind of going off of that note, because the school year is now starting for us, and we're both going to be very, very busy through the coming months. Kara with school, obviously, and then me. I'll be traveling a lot for recruiting purposes. We have decided that we are going to move to a bi-weekly upload schedule. So we will just be uploading an episode once every 2 weeks. So maybe that'll give us some more time to record episodes and still give you the high quality episodes we've been able to do so far. But also give you all a little bit more time to just have time to listen to episodes and stuff like that, and focus on other things. So I think it's best for everybody.
Yeah. So the next episode that would be launching would be August 29th.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of an update on how we're going to keep doing that going forward, we wanted to just take this episode, just a little bit of time to just kind of give y'all words of encouragement as we start the school year, and whether you're listening to this now or in the future, you can always come back to this if you're getting ready to start the school year or something like that. But we just wanted to share some positive words with y'all.
I think we can all agree that. So I feel like the busiest and most stressful times of the year for teachers is obviously the first week of school or first few weeks of school, Christmas time, and basically from March until April or March until May. It's all crazy. And during those times, I find myself just riddled with anxiety, and I can't really function really well. And so something that really helped me last year, going into the spring semester, where I was filled with lots of anxiety and doubt, I spent my maybe last 30 to 45 minutes before bed, just having that night routine. Mm-hmm. So I had a gratitude journal so I could really reflect on my day, and I was very intentional with seeking out what good things happened, because there's always some good things that happen in a day, but it can be kind of hard to see what was good if all of it surrounding it was not so great. So I wrote in a gratitude journal. Then I read any kind of book. It can be nonfiction, fiction, anything. And then I like to write my prayers down, so I would just spend the last 10 minutes praying and writing them down, and that really, really helped my peace of mind going to bed. Mm-hmm. So that's just a little advice, and I'm definitely going to do that tomorrow on that first or Tuesday night, because it's always so hard to fall asleep. Either you're anxious or excited or both. It's really hard to keep your mind calm. And so those are some ways to help.
Yeah, and I'm thinking back to the episode where we did with Soraya Peters. We talked a lot about things and steps that you can take to just take care of yourself as you get going through the busy times of the school year. And rest is a big part of that. It's easy to think of rest as something, as the absence of doing anything, which, I mean, technically it kind of is, but resting is still doing something. In other words, it's an investment of your time, because resting is going to enable you to do more with what you have later. So that's just something big to keep in mind there. I just wanted to share one of my favorite quotes of all time. I'm sure probably every single person listening to this has heard this before, but a really well-known quote by Arthur O'Shaughnessy, and it is simply, "We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams." That's been quoted, I think, in many different places. I actually first heard it when I was younger in the original Willy Wonka movie, but it's always stuck with me throughout my life. And I'll be honest, I don't actually even really know the context of that quote I think it's from a poem he wrote and stuff like that. So I really don't know the context of it. But when I hear that, I just think that's such a cool thought, that in doing music, we are communicating through the language of dreams. For me personally, and I think a lot of people, when we listen to music, we get pictures in our head. I think it's so easy to think of a movie and that's a picture, and then people make music to go with it. But ultimately, I think it's the other way around. I think you hear music and then you see things when you hear it. And that's a language of dreams. And ultimately, dreams are what keep our world going. People that have dreams have a goal to achieve. That's what keeps our world spinning ultimately. And so as a music educator, you're a steward of one of the most powerful phenomena in history. In doing that, you're literally helping students learn to dream. Think about that for a second. That is a huge, huge responsibility. That's something that changed my life and changed Kara's life, and has probably changed every single one of y'all's lives as well, if you're listening to this. So just keep that in mind as you get going, and let that rejuvenate you mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Remind yourself why you do what you do and the impact that you're making on everybody.
And just an observation that I've made, like just these past couple of weeks being back with teachers and everything, and hearing and talking to other teachers, I think, and hey, maybe we thought this last year, but I think we're a lot more hopeful about this year. I don't want to jinx anything.
Knock on wood.
COVID is obviously still a real thing that's happening, but we have better control over it, and it's it's very minor now.
Yeah.
For the most part, and I don't think this will be much of an issue.
Yeah.
And we're 1 year further away from those COVID years, which means the farther we are away from it, the better it's going to be as far as like student behavior. I think now students kind of are gaining an understanding, like, okay, we really are back to normal. This is it, and I need to comply.
Yeah.
I don't even know exactly how to word that, but hopefully students will be better this year. Behaviors were out of control, and I think a lot of administrators have really harped on just more rules and more specific rules. So let that be an encouragement to you, and even if it's not, just it's always going to get better. Yeah.
And also going off of that, I feel like, I could be wrong. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily have any evidence for this, but I just think about the past few years with COVID, and to me, it just makes sense that I think in this generation of students now, because of COVID, no matter what the age, that left a hole or kind of a gap in their experience.
Most definitely.
Yes, but I don't even know if they necessarily realize that it's there. And I think music is one of those things that can work to fill that hole. And that's why it's our jobs to show that to them and to help them realize that, because I bet a lot of them going in this year and last year and next year, they have that hole and they don't even realize it. And then they experience the power of music and in your classroom and they realize, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this is what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I needed to fill something that was missing inside of me this whole time. It's very eye-opening and soul-opening.
Yeah. So just like you were saying, like, we do have a big responsibility for these students, no matter if you're just a general ed teacher or a fine arts teacher. But specifically with music, yes, we do have such an advantage to connect to students on a much deeper level. But I just wanted to close with this quote. I've heard it twice this week, and I think that's pretty significant. If I'm hearing it twice, I feel like that's whatever you believe in. I feel like that's the Lord just putting some encouragement in my heart, or the universe, whatever. I heard it once at a professional development with Dinah Minger, and then that was Wednesday, and then I heard it again at convocation, and I was like, wow, this is going to be like my mantra this year and my reminder. It's a quote by, I'm going to really butcher this name, Haim Ginott.
It looks like Haim Ginott.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm really going to butcher this. Haim Ginott? I'm so sorry. I don't know you, but I just heard your quote. I've come to a frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It's my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's really it. Like, your mood, the way that you, literally your mood determines how your class is going to go. And that's so important. The way you talk to a student can change their mood. Yeah. It's so important. And we have that power and responsibility in our hands. And so I encourage you, even on those bad days, we all have them. Leave it outside the door and serve your students because they need you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for y'all today, but just, take those words to heart, keep them in your mind as you get going throughout the school year. We love you. We support you. If y'all ever need anything, y'all are welcome to reach out to us at any time, whether it's just another teacher friend that can relate to you on Kara's side, or maybe you need, some composer related assistance. You can always reach out to me as well.
A spouse to a teacher.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, you can contact us on our social medias. Instagram would probably be the best way to reach if you want to talk.
Yeah. And I do also do and when I say composer related things, I mean I just recently did a little project for some of the Abilene teachers where they had written some solfege exercises, some drills, and just on a notebook paper, and they were like, hey, could you transcribe this and put this into Sibelius for us? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And so I just did that for him. And so if you need any assistance like that, I do it for pretty cheap. I'm pretty fast at it. So again, Christian at christianfortnermusic.com. If you need anything, I just want to help y'all in any way I can. So but yeah, we will see y'all in a couple weeks. Thank y'all so much so far for coming along on this journey for us. It's been fun, and we're so excited to get going to the school year and bring on even more fun and exciting guests.
Yes. Have a great school year.
Adios.